Hello and welcome to episode 34 of the Yarnflakes Podcast. My name is Audrey and this is a fiber crafty podcast mainly about knitting but also some occasional weaving, spinning and dyeing. This is a very poorly lit episode this week. I am very sorry, but this is the last time that I will be able to record this year until the holidays. I will talk about that later in the episode. But yeah, so I have to do with the gloomy day and with the fact that I had a very bad sleep last night. So I tried to look Christmassy, but really, it's just giving a little bit of Addams Family vibe, isn't it? Anyway, welcome. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. I hope you are all doing well. This week I have a lot of knitting, a little bit of a dyeing experiment, and yes, that's it. Timestamps to all the different sections of the podcast will be in the description down below, so feel free to jump anything if you want to. You will also have links to everything that I talk about and my social media and everything that you wish to find. To start off this week's episode, I have a little announcement. I released a gift pattern, I guess you could say, on Ravelry. And it's a hat that I knit a while ago, and I believe I showed it on the podcast. So if you've been watching for a little bit, you might remember it. It's this hat that just looks awful, but I promise that if you go check it on Ravelry, you will be able to see better lit pictures of it. This is the bold soprano hat. So it's a gift for Christmas. It's a free pattern. It's there. I knitted it a while ago, and I thought it was about time that I write something up with it. So it's a colorwork hat. It uses 3 colors, and it's this traditional Romanian motif, basically. They usually have it embroidered on really pretty blouses, but I wanted to adapt it into a colorwork knitted chart. And so I did, and I made this hat. Yeah, I knitted in an Aran weight. This is Letlopi, the Icelandic wool. But it's a hat. So the thing is, the chart is 30 stitch wide. I give you instructions to make it with an Aran weight, and you will get an average adult head size. My head is quite a medium. It's about 54 centimeters around, and it fits, and it could fit a slightly bigger head. So that's the instruction that I give you, but it's a hat. So like I said, it's super easy to... How colorwork do I look right now? Yeah, it's super easy to adapt it to a different gauge if you want to work at a different yarn weight. It's a 30 stitch repeat, so you just, you've knit hats, so you kind of know what stitch number you need for a fingering weight hat, for a DK weight hat, so you just adapt it. And yeah, you just... I think hats are the easiest thing to adapt to your own size, so... If you don't want to do it in an Aran weight, if you want to do it at a different gauge, keeping in mind that this is colorwork, so it doesn't allow for negative ease, so it's not stretchy. Which is why it looks quite big like that, but you saw that when I put it on, it's actually a normal hat size. It's just that it doesn't stretch. So yeah, I've had quite a few lovely comments on it on Ravelry and on Instagram, so thank you very much. I'm glad that you like it, and yeah, if you want to make a quick little wintry project, I think the chart is really nice. It's fairly different even from Scandinavian colorwork, because it has 3 colors. So yes, you carry 3 colors at a time at some point. But it's completely manageable. The chart is simple, and yeah, if you knit it at a bigger weight like I did, it goes super quickly. So yes, that's a little announcement I wanted to make. The Bold Soprano hat is available on Ravelry. People have asked, so it is explained in the Ravelry page, but I just thought I'd explain why I called it that way. The Bold Soprano is a play by Eugene, how do you say in English? Eugene Ionesco, which is a Romanian French kind of. Of course, in France we say French Romanian, but really he is born in Romania, even though he mostly wrote in French. But it's a Romanian-French author, a playwright, one of the massive figures of the absurd theater. And The Bold Soprano is one of his major plays. So I thought it was quite funny that since I'm French and I'm using a Romanian motif and it's a hat, that I called it The Bold Soprano. But maybe that's just me, because I explained it to people and they didn't laugh. So I guess I just have a really peculiar humor. Nerdy literature humor. That's what we get here. Quick note on what I'm wearing, because you actually never saw me wearing it. This is my Marius cardigan. I'm gonna try to stand on my knees a little bit. And yes, it's unintentionally Christmassy, which is why I'm wearing it now. And this is the Marius traditional pattern from Norway. And I followed a Samnesgarn pattern. Everything will be linked down below. I did it as part of Skander Knits Ellie's Marius knit along, and I really like it. It's cozy and warm, and I believe that it's going to be nice for the holiday season, because apparently when I pick my own colors instead of copying the patterns, this happens. So really, when I just knit grey sweaters, I shouldn't be unhappy about it. Lots of adjustments. I'm sitting on my bed, so that's why I was in such a weird position. Yes. Okay, that's it for the little itsy bitsy parts of the podcast. Now we can jump into the knitting content, and I have a couple of finished objects to share with you. The first one is a pair of socks, and it's the last Christmas gift that I will be knitting this year, so I am on time. And everything is done and ready, and I just need to wrap everything. Actually, I need to wrap it just after I record this episode, because if not, people are going to see me wrapping things, and yeah, that's not how you should do things. But yeah, I knit the Pebbles sock, which is a pattern by Minne Philip, the Knitting Next Back Designs. And it's a really simple texture. It's easy as can be. It's part of her Beyond Vanilla sock collections. I don't remember if it's part 1 or part 2, but basically Mina has a few sock bundles that are just really simple textured pattern for socks when you want to have something that's quite mindless, but still that's not just vanilla. So this is the Pebbles pattern, and it just is such a terrible light, but yeah, it makes this little ridged texture effect. You can see the difference from the back of the sock and the front. It's not my favorite of the patterns that I've tried from that collection. I still really love the Cobblestones pattern. But it's still really nice, and I think that texture is interesting. And yeah, The yarn I use is a yarn I dyed myself when I was kind of experimenting with trying different dyeing techniques to get different looks. And it's just a variegated blue, goldish brown and grey. And I just found it funny how I did a German short row heel, and I found it really funny how it actually started striping. So it's the same on the second heel. Yeah, I'm very pleased with these socks. These are a gift from my sister, who never likes anything, so that's why I have some socks. But yeah, I'm glad I was able to use that yarn and see how it knits up. The second finished object that I have is a very nice one and maybe a bit unexpected, but it's my pavement sweater. The pavement sweater is a pattern by Vera Välimäki, and I was knitting it out of the absolutely amazing Malabrigo sock in the Potions colorway, which is this beautiful dark teal, green and burgundy color. So I finished it. Last time I showed it to you, I had finished the body, but since I had quite a few projects to finish for Christmas and a test knit as well, I wasn't sure that I was actually going to get it done, but I did. The sleeves went so fast, it's incredible. So yeah, here it is. As you can see, it started being very red here. Started pooling a little bit. So I just switched the part of the cake I was pooling from, and I don't mind it. It's very noticeable now on the screen, but in real life it's just overall much darker. There you go. So you see it's not that bad. When it's on, you really don't notice. It fits really well. I'm really happy with it. It's not too oversized. It's comfortable, positive ease. The sleeves are the right length, and the only thing that surprised me a little bit is the neckline. The neckline is very wide. It sits quite apart on my shoulders, but it's fine, because if I wear like a tank top underneath, that's okay. But yeah, I guess it's part of the peculiar raglan construction. It's not your usual raglan shoulders, so I guess that's why it's also wider. I will have worn pictures of this garment in the next couple of weeks, so if you want to see it worn, just check Instagram, or hopefully I will I might just wear it in one episode next year, so you will see how it fits. But I'm really happy with it. It's really comfortable. It's the perfect length. It blocked really nicely. You remember I had some ugly short rows things happening here? Well, you can still see them, but it merged in the hem quite in a satisfying way, so that's okay. And yes, I just really like it. And the thing is, I actually only use 209 grams, so if it was a little bit more fitted or shorter, because it's quite long, it goes way over my bum. If it wasn't a Positivi's garment, I could have done it with 2 skeins. So I have almost a full skein of the Potions colorway left, and I have no idea what to do with it. I really like it, so I figured maybe it's gonna be a hat, or maybe it's going to feature in some kind of sweater who uses different colors. Yeah, it's the back with the short rows, it's the front. Comfy fingering weight sweater, simple as can be. I prefer the construction of the So Faded and the Flax Light as far as the fit goes. I think it's more straightforward. So if you're looking to knit your first garment and you want something simple, I'd rather go for either the flax sweater, which is a free pattern by Tin Can Knits, and you have it either in fingering weight or in DK worsted weight, or the So Faded sweater by Andrea Murray. You don't have to necessarily use different colors like she does. But I think these two are amazing, simple, straightforward raglan shaped sweaters, whereas this one, it's interesting, it's different, and it fits differently, and I like having the option. I absolutely love it. But yeah, maybe it's not as basic as I'd like it to be. I really like the curved hem. So yeah. On to works in progress. I did a little bit of work on my boho blush shawl. Since I finished all the little socks and things and the pavement sweater, I only had one work in progress on my needles, which I was really happy about. I thought, oh, that's really nice. I'm gonna finish the year with somewhat clear needles and only one project that's quite advanced already. Obviously, as you will realize, I did not stay in that position, but I still worked a little bit on the boho blush, and oh my god, so impossible to show. Let me show you the right side. For starters, yes, I have just finished the second lace portion. Let me try to just stretch the center part without losing stitches, please. There you go. I have finished the second lace portion, so that's what I have so far. I am knitting it out of a merino bamboo blend that I dyed myself in this variegated beige tobacco color. Yeah, my stitch count was completely off for the second lace section, and it was off from the beginning, so I don't know what I did. I messed up the garter section. Hello, I can't do garter. I can't do garter increases. But never mind, I fudged it. And it works. And I believe I probably have like 10, 15 stitches less than required. I am not counting them because they're about 500. So no. But yeah, I think it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. The yarn is going to block very forgivingly. But yeah, the thing is, considering the shape of that thing, you can't really tell if everything is alright and how it's going to look. So it's a bit unsettling for me, but at the same time, it's kind of motivation as well, because I'm eager to see if it's actually going to look good or if it's going to be weird. So yeah, I now have 3 sections left, garter, brioche garter, and then the fringe after blocking. So this will, I'm gonna work on it today because I want to. I really enjoy it. It's mindless garter, even the brioche I can do it without thinking. It's really only the first rows of the lace sections that you have to pay attention in this pattern. The rest of it is quite mindless and easy. But yeah, I will finish it in the new year. I am unsure if it's even worth mentioning it since I only have a cuff, but I started a new design. So it's another sock pattern. I have 2 or 3 ideas for shawls, but I'm leaving that for next year. But yeah, I have another sock idea thing going with cables and seat stitch, but it's not really defined yet. It's a panel thing that I'm going to basically have to make up on the go. So I'll see. But I just wanted to cast it on, so it's here. Maybe I'm going to work a little bit before I go on holiday. But at least it's here. So it started. I have to make it happen. And I'm knitting with the gorgeous sea glass sock yarn, which is a colorway by Black Elephant. And it's this beautiful mint, please light, yeah, it's this beautiful mint green with specks of blue and gold and brighter green. And yeah, I just did a cuff, a 2x2 cuff, and I'm going to try and do something with it, maybe tomorrow. So we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, I have a lot of sock designs ideas, and some of them have precise stitch in mind, and I just need to do the math. And this is just, I see something, like I said, cabling and stitch in the middle and something, yeah. But I have no idea what I really want it to be and how I'm going to work it. So this is going to be my first time kind of figuring out the design as I go. I usually do a swatch, do the math, write everything, and then I knit the sample out of my theory pattern, so to say. So this is the first time that I'm going to do it reverse. I'm going to write what I do as I go so that I don't forget anything. It's not my type though, I'm pretty, but you never know, because it happens to me very rarely that I don't remember what something is or that I can't figure out what I did. But it happened maybe 2 times, and it was annoying enough for me not to want it to happen again. So yeah, just a little cuff. And I really like the yarn. So that was one of the cast on that kind of ruined my I only have one project left on the needles thing. But that was another one that I cast on before, and it's quite a big one. It's the Ginsberg cardigan by Nora Gorn, which is a Brooklyn tweed pattern, and it's this beautiful structured cardigan, oversized thing. Yeah, and I love it. It has cables and texture, and I found it really interesting, and it's been in my queue for a while, and I've swatched for it quite a long time ago. If you remember, I had one episode where it was just swatch mania, and it was one of them. And I decided to cast it on. I don't know why, because it's massive. And basically I'm not going to do any more work on it this year, and I'm going to have 3 weeks without it. But hey, it's there. So this is what I've got so far. Yep. And yeah, this worked out quite quickly because it's a bulky weight. I am knitting it on 6.5 millimeter needles, which is big. I haven't knit on needles that big in a while, so it needs some adjusting, but at least it works super fast. And yeah, so you start by the waist, basically. Start by the back, but not the bottom back, if that makes sense. You work up until you decrease to a point. And so you have something like this. This is your back, and then you pick up to the side and you knit 2 fronts. Yes, simultaneously, I believe, from what I understood. And then you join everything, and you knit a ribbing at the bottom. That's what I understand from the pattern. Brooklyn tweed patterns are a little bit. In general, I found it very interesting how patterns from independent designers are so clearly written most of the time. Like most important designers, their patterns are like so basic everything is explained. It's really, they're taking your hand. It's like talking to a baby. Everything is explained, no confusion. It's good. I'm talking from my experience, the patterns that I have done. But the few patterns that I've read from books or from yarn companies or magazines, I'm always a bit... There's always something, because I guess they have more rules to follow, and like they have their template, of course, but maybe they have to follow a certain line of editing. And sometimes, like I read through some of Nora Gone patterns, which are Brooklyn Tweed, most of them, those that I have, and a couple of patterns from books that I own, and it's not as simple to understand. If I read a pattern by Andrea Mari, I don't need to really read it to understand what I need to do. I don't know if you see what I mean. But when I read the Ginsberg pattern, like I don't need to read every sentence 2 times, but it's close. Like I need to really focus on it to see what happens. And there's a lot of information in a shorter space. And overall, I think this one is also maybe a more complex design. But everything that I'm saying now is actually a good thing, because I want the challenge, and I am super happy to have something on the needle that requires a decent amount of concentration from my part, which hasn't happened in a while. Yeah, even though I have done a lot of new things in my knitting and crafting in the last year, and this is something that I will talk about in my first 2018 episode. But yeah, I have learned a lot of few things, like brioche, like lace designs and sock constructions and garment constructions. But yeah, I just need to learn it, do it for 5 minutes, and then it's okay. It's not incredibly easy sometimes, but it doesn't require that amount of concentration that I cannot watch a movie with it. So I am really happy that for once I'm doing this, and I'm like looking at the pattern and I can't do anything else. And if anyone else talk to me, I can just look at them angrily, because I cannot talk to them. Because if I talk to them, I'm gonna lose the stitch count or whatever it is that I need to remember to do. So I just threw a few angry looks at my relatives lately while I was doing this, because like, I really need that. There's a project bag that says keep quiet in a rude way. I don't want to swear because I know some people are offended by that, but you got what I mean. So be quiet, I'm counting. It's not be quiet, you perfectly understand what it is, but never mind. I need that, I think. So I'm really happy to be doing something that engaging, and it looks very interesting. It's basically this textured cabley patterns. One thing, I hate the chart. I don't understand charts when it's knit purls stitches. I really would prefer to read rib 1 by 1 for, 25 rows, rather than having to zoom at a teeny tiny chart that I cannot even print, because if I print it, it's going to be this nitty thing, and I can't, like if I zoom it in A4, it's not even big enough. So for marking up that pattern is a little bit, so I have to look at it on my computer and zoom and then count the knit, purl. I hate that. That's so unintuitive for me, and really when it's knit pearls I don't understand. And I think the chart could use like at least some stitch count, I don't know, darker lines every 5 stitches so it's easier to count, because really at some point you just have to knit pearl for a little less than 20 stitches, I think. And when you're just setting up the thing, it's this section. When you're just setting it up, it's, you're working on a tiny chart and you just have to scroll down, 1 stitch is done, 1 stitch is done. Ugh. I don't like charts. I don't like charts. But hey, now everything is set up, so to say, so I know where I am and I know what I need to do. And yeah, it just means working differently, and I think that eventually I will get used to it. So yeah, you have different textured sections. You have like a reverse stockinette here. This is going to be like a cabling section, and here you have like a knit pearl and stockinette thing going on. Yeah. So this is not the bottom. From what I understand, you then have to pick up from that castanage for the rib, the bottom hem. But yeah, I really like it. I can't wait to see it actually looking like a cardigan. The yarn I'm using is Drops Alaska. In this, that's the perfect color, because when I show you this, it's too light. This is the color. I think it's the dark olive colorway, and it's 100% wool, Aran/bulky weight, and I like it. It feels very strong and woolly. I prefer the alpaca wool blend from Drops rather than pure wool, rather than their pure wool. But yeah, there wasn't the perfect weight in the alpaca blend, so I went with Alaska, and I'm happy with it. I had some uneven ply thing at some point, but I don't mind it. You really don't see it when it's knitted. I can't find it anymore. It has the good stitch definition for this, and yeah, my swatch behaved really well after washing and blocking, so I can't wait to see how it will hold as the garment. But yeah, warm and big, chunky. Since it's relatively dark though, I really need to remember not to work on it at night, because now that I have the different pattern sections established, I really need to see whether I need to do a knit or a purl, and in the dark, that's a bit hard on my eyes. So that's it for the real knitting making sections of the podcast. I just want to share with you the project that I am going to be working during my holidays. So I am leaving on Sunday. It's Thursday now, so I'm leaving in 3 days. I'm going to Romania with my boyfriend. And where am I going with that? Yes, so I sent over, I need to fix something on a sweater that I knit for him. But I also sent a bunch of needles beforehand, because I understand that in the States you can bring knitting needles on the plane, but in Europe apparently it's not that clear. So I did not want to take the risk to bring knitting needles with me on the plane, so I'll just read during the 3 hours flight. So I did send knitting needles over there by the post, so that I could knit during the 2 weeks and a half that I'm going to be there. And I picked a project, so I didn't want to have 10,000 different skeins of sock yarn on me and just knit socks. So I decided that I would knit a shawl during my holiday. And I decided to knit the behind the scenes shawl which is a 2-color shawl. I forgot the name of the designer. I will pop it here, as well as a picture of the shawl in question. And so it's a 2-color shawl, and it has a beautiful texture panel in the middle. So I'm going to be working on that, because it seems like it's simple enough to be knitting for me in public, but as well, in public, I mean in a social situation, but also, God, I can't express myself today, but also that it will be long enough to keep me busy. I'm not going to knit as much as I do here, but still, you know. So I wanted to show you the colors I have. I caked them yesterday. No, the day before yesterday. It doesn't matter. These are 2 black elephant skins. Black Elephant, if you don't know, it's Petra. She's a UK-based indie dyer, and she's amazing. There you have it. She's one of my favorite indie dyers. I really love her work. And I have these 2 singles from her. It's 100% superwash merino, I believe, her singles base. And this is Silence. And it's this beautiful eggplant and teal blue. And this is Peachy something. I don't remember. And I can't read what's written there. I can read peachy, and it makes sense. But then I can't read what you wrote, Petra. But anyway, it's a peachy pink colors with speckles of brown and gold, and it's really lovely as well. And I thought they looked really nice together as contrasting skins for the shawl. So yeah, I cannot wait to work this up and see how it goes. Here is Petra's label, by the way, Black Elephant, the little logo. It's cute. Yep. So yeah, I'm taking the yarn with me, because when I sent a package with the needles, I was too lazy to cake the yarn, so I'm taking the yarn with me. And yeah, this will be my holiday project, and I hope that next time I will have something nice to show you. I have a teeny tiny bit of dyeing to share with you. I participated in FiberShare. If you don't know what it is, it's an international fiber yarn swap for weavers, knitters, spinners, crocheters, whatever. Embroidery as well, maybe, I guess. Yeah. And I had to get a replacement package because my package from the person that I was matched with didn't get here. So the people behind FiberShare are absolutely amazing, and they sent a replacement package, and I received it yesterday, and it was so nice. I have a skein of cashmere. It's my first skein of cashmere. I don't know what to do with it. I'll just keep petting it. But yeah, maybe I will show you those when I use them or plan to use them. But I just wanted to show you. They sent me a skein of KnitPicks Hawthorne fingering. They're kettle dyed Hawthorne, which is the 80/20 fine Highland wool and nylon. So it's good for socks. And it's fingering weight. And it was this kettle dyed light blue tonal colorway, which was absolutely lovely. But I already have socks in with a yarn that I dyed in exactly the same colorway, like this light blue to cream color, exactly the same. And I like light blue, but it's not a color that I love enough that I would want a lot of socks or anything in that color. Like, it's not burgundy or gray or my gray, blue, green color that is everywhere and that I love. So yeah, I actually decided to have a little bit of fun with it, and I asked my boyfriend, okay, I have a light blue yarn, that I want to change, just pick 2-3 colors to add on it so that it will be a variegated speckled thing. And here is the result. Yeah, I guess you can say that my boyfriend has a good eye for color. He picked like a royal blue, marsala reddish brown, and then a bright vibrant orangey red. And I managed to do that and speckle it, and this is what I got. And I think it looks absolutely lovely. And I really like the twist in the Hawthorne. It's my first skein of Hawthorne because like I keep complaining every other episode, KnitPicks think that people that don't speak English can't order from their website, so they hate us and they don't deliver to non-English speaking countries because, yeah, why not? Why not in 2017 be a major company and not delivering to mainland Europe? But okay, fine. I just hate it when I see everybody getting so excited on the Felici updates, and I'm like, oh, but Audrey, you have Opal and Regia. No, I don't have them either because they're quite hard to get by outside of Germany and UK. Not hard, but it's just, yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same. So yeah, I really like the Hawthorne twist. I think it's going to have a surprising and amazing stitch definition. But yeah, that's the little dying fun I had yesterday. This week I have a little recommendation. I sometimes have a book talk series thing section in the podcast, and this week I have a series recommendation, and it's Godless on Netflix. So it's a mini series of 7 episodes that are all a bit over 1 hour long, so it's really 7 mini movies, and so it's on Netflix, and I love it. I finished it pretty quickly. So it has an amazing cast. There's Jeff Daniels, there's God, what's her name? Something Dockery. The actress that plays Lady Mary in Downton Abbey, which is actually why I started watching Godless, because I was curious to see her in a different part, because I hate Lady Mary in Downton Abbey. So when I saw that she was playing in another series, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a look at that. And oh my god, did I do well? So it's 7 episodes. Basically, it's a Western. And it's the purest, most simple thing. It's a simple plot. It's about a group of bandits that want to get revenge, basically, on one of their former associates that is actually a nice person, and blah blah blah. You get the drill. It's about horses and guns. Yes. But when you read the synopsis of the series, it just tells you that it's the life of a town called La Belle, which suffered an accident, and a mining accident, and basically all the men are dead, so only the women are left in that town. And it's just really, really well done and simple. You follow all the characters of the show. I have a few favorites, and yeah, it's very well filmed. The actors are amazing. It has really funny moments. You get attached to the characters pretty easily, and so the end is a bit why. but it's slow and it's harsh to watch. I was expecting it to be kind of gruesome and a bit more maybe gory and a lot more actiony than it is. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of shooting and running away with horses and stuff like that. But it's made in a way that really sets the things. Like you're gonna have when someone runs away with a horse, the shot is going to be staying on that and last for a certain amount of time to just, yeah, I don't know. I think it has a really good rhythm and it's a really interesting plot. You get sucked in really easily and the characters are amazing. It's a great series. Just watch it. Yeah, it's not trying to mess up with your brain. It's not pretentious at all, which is what I like. I like when a series has important subjects, but that it's not shoving them in your face like mantras. I prefer when the plot and the characters are amazing and they are the ones pulling your interests towards maybe the social political themes that can relate to that series. Great series, guns, horses, great actors, just it's funny, go for it. Yeah, so that's it for another messy recommendation, the last of 2017. It's time for me to wrap up this episode. Like I said, this will be the last episode for this year. I will not have a podcast up until early January. I am unsure when. I would like actually to film pretty early as soon as I return. So we'll see how that all works out. The next time I see you, I will be making like a recap of what I've done this year and also share challenges, goals, and all the hopeful plans that I have for 2018. So, yeah. In the meantime, I wish you a very happy day, night, week, and holidays. I hope you'll get to have some rest, some nice food, and whatever you want to do. I will be there around on Instagram. Don't forget to check the bold soprano hat if you want a gift. It's there. And yeah, I will leave you now. Happy holidays. Bye bye.